Tmos.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
It is indeed the 799th Mike O'Mara Show.
Oh, wow.
I don't believe you.
It's true. How about
Yeah.
that? Pretty great.
You're sure it's not 800?
No, I'm pretty sure. I went back and I counted. And with a big announcement, but we have to wait for the applause to die down.
Yeah. Will it ever?
Yeah. It might. I believe that's the signal that we need to bring in now another get. Love to start the show with a get.
You're kidding.
Yes, the ambassador to the United States from South Korea. It is Sung Kim.
Greetings.
And you are
I'm Sung. What?
Sung Kim.
I'm Sung Kim.
from where?
I'm from South Korea.
Oh, down south, they say.
Not to be confused with our northern aggressors, North Korea.
Right.
With
South.
their bluster and their bombs and their threats of war, which I find unpalatable, usually.
Now, I understand that you have a big announcement, but for people who
I do a big announcement for the safety.
The what?
For the safety.
Yes.
Of the South Korean people, and I should say perhaps that was a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
The North Korean people as well,
Now,
preventing any kind of conflict, from the North.
That'd
and the
be
North,
great.
the misguided North, with their Dennis Rodmans and their people marching in formations.
Yes.
Don't you see?
You see, for people who are
We
just
don't
joining
do
us,
that. We don't cotton to that
That's
in the
right.
South.
You
of
don't
Korea.
what to that?
We don't cotton to that.
I see.
In the
Interesting
South of Korea.
expression.
Now, for those of
And
people,
you can take that to the bank from Sung Kim.
for those who are just joining us, tell us a little bit about life in South Korea.
It is such a nice way of life compared to the North.
Really, how so?
In the North, you have people acting like robots, you see, and
the way they march.
and dismal sweatshop factories and gulags and people are put in prison. While in the South,
Yes.
life is much the way it was 300 years ago.
How's the pace of life in
It's
the
a
South?
much slower pace. We
Easier.
enjoy our lifestyle down there. We have rolling hills. We have lovely flowering trees. We have the crops that with the land gives back to the South Korean people.
And the cooking.
And the cooking. The spicy
Yes.
South Korean cooking. I urge you to come to South Korea for some kimchi, you see.
I would love to walk the roads of South Korea and see the
yes.
Spanish moss dripping from the trees.
You could walk the magnolia-lined roads of South Korea on
sounds
any day,
nice.
and I just want to make it real clear.
Please.
It will not stand
What?
this northern aggression
Oh, okay.
from North Korea. You
Good for
can
you,
take it
sir.
from me. What's my name again?
Sung Kim.
Sung Kim.
And you're from?
I'm from South, the South of Korea. You see.
Now you have an announcement?
Down south.
Well, in a moment, but I see that the young man, the young slightly beige man over
Almost
in the corner.
Asian.
Oh,
Tan,
yes,
really.
you do. You resemble when you put sunglasses on. You resemble the father of the leader of North Korea. You look a little like Kim Jong-il.
That's not the first time I've heard that.
It's unnerving, isn't it?
I'm kidding. Let me just straighten my string tie on my white suit.
That is beautiful. Can I take your
Thank
hat?
You see. Oh, yes, you can take my straw hat. Put it over by my cane. Thank you. And next to my mint julep.
Is that a linen suit you're wearing?
You're damn right it is.
It's very handsome.
It's lovely.
Have people told you that you look like the guy who started Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Well, now you have caught me. You have seen the outfit that I am trying to duplicate. Unfortunately, I cannot grow the same beard.
Understood.
My beard resembles the leader in that, the teacher, I should say,
Kind
in
of a-
Kill Bill Volume 2.
Yeah, it's sort of wispy is the word I'm looking for.
My pay, I believe is his name.
A pale.
That's the type of beard I have, you see. But I
Fu
have an
Manchu.
announcement
You
today.
do? Is it time for the announcement?
Yes, stop
Would
that
you like
banjo
a timpani?
music. Yes, I will give myself a timpani.
Everyone quiet, please.
Travels with his own
South
timpani.
Korea said it would buy attack helicopters worth $1.8 trillion. I'm sorry, that's 1.8 trillion won.
Well, that's like $40.
No, it's $1.6 billion, you see.
Oh, I understand.
That's what it is from Boeing Company.
Oh, nice.
To improve our ability to respond to the threats of northern aggression.
I think that's wise.
So I would like just to say to Secretary, President, magnanimous leader, whatever he is referred to, Un, that if he wants
Kim
to...
Jong-un?
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
If he wants to continue this northern aggression, we've got some Apache helicopters that'll blow him to kingdom come.
Now, if it does come
That's
to battle,
right. We will strap on our gray uniforms, and we will provide the battle lines that will prevent the northern aggressors from
brother
coming
against
down.
brother.
That's right, my friends.
Now,
You
the
see.
thing is, no one really wants war. You don't want war.
No one wants war, but
No.
our way of life is being threatened by the North.
It's
Now,
sad to see brother against brother.
It
though.
is. It's very sad. I do not like that. I have family members, I'm sure.
Of course you do.
Somewhere in a northern province.
If all of them, if you go to war with the
see.
North,
What?
is everyone in your household going to fight?
Every single member of my house, from the smallest to the grandmothers,
Really?
we will take up our muskets.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, our arms.
Right?
Sticks. I don't know.
Because I know you
Whatever
have.
you can find.
Don't you have
Yes.
like a personal assistant that lives with you?
I have a personal assistant that makes the best damn Creole shrimp you've ever had in your life. Oh, I see that clock on the wall would indicate that this bit has expired.
No.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Owen's friend.
Owen doesn't have a friend.
That's because he's shy.
No, he's not. He's fat and he's stupid. Get out of my house. Where is Owen?
Owen went bowling.
I want Owen.
He'll be back in a minute.
I want my bath. I want my medicine.
I can get it for you.
Who the hell are you all of a sudden?
Let me hang it up for you.
I can hang up my own goddamn
I know that, but I would like to hang it up for
Get
you.
out of my way, you black bastard.
What? Mrs. Lift!
He tried to kill me.
What?
I said he's trying to kill me.
Mrs. Lift! Don't!
Hang up my own goddamn shawl. He's trying to kill me. I asked for the salted nuts. He brought me the unsalted nuts. The unsalted nuts makes me choke.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Speedwagon, Oscar Santana. And now, from his couch, here's Mike.
Live from Studio 1K, I should say, in the
that?
Pfeifferplex Broadcast Center. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa.
Yay.
Today is Wednesday, April 17, 2013, and we are brought to you by Vistaprint.com/TMOS. We want to tell you about the personalized iPhone cases that we have. Do you have any of those in evidence, Mr. Ron?
I do indeed.
Now, it is easy to design an iPhone case for every part of your life, your company, your team, your family, even just a personal message, and they start at just $9.99. A good investment for your business. Prospective clients will notice. Vistaprint is a small business's best friend, offering quality and affordability for marketing and printing. Carla is using her iPhone case
very
right now
nice.
with the Mike O'Mara Show logo on them. We use them. All iPhone cases are 50% off for TMOS listeners, and if your order tops $30, the shipping is free. And really, if you go into one of the stores and pay $50 for a piece of plastic, get a customized piece of plastic
Make
for
it be the one you
$9.99.
want. Make it be the one
That's
you want,
crazy.
Mike. Come on.
Vistaprint.com.
Come on.
Come on, Daddy. Vistaprint, Shelley. Vistaprint.com/TMOS. That is where we want you to go. Satisfaction is always guaranteed. We use them, and remember, 50% off for TMOS listeners if you order $30 or more worth of these wonderful cases. So here we are. Hail, hail. The gang is all here. Delighted to have you all with us. Thank you for indulging us. I believe that would be it as far as the South Korean ambassador. I think we've squeezed enough out of that.
Unless something big breaks.
I don't know.
Well, that's true. It's keeping it light.
I like keeping the fact that we have a take on South Korea that very few other news organizations have done.
Let me assure you, he's always welcome here.
I am someone who believes in this day and age of world tension that we should have a light perspective on certain news stories.
Absolutely.
Especially with recent events domestically. It's nice to look at the until I am proven wrong, I would like to look at the North Korean situation with a little bit of a comedic eye.
I think
like
that's
that.
fine.
I would really like to sell the Fat Baby T-shirts, which we are selling selling now on
It
the website.
didn't take you long to spin to that.
Hey, I want to sell them.
I know.
That's the
I
way it
actually
goes.
mentioned it this morning on the Facebook.
You did.
You can get your bright red with the white lettering and the white image of Kim Jong-un, the fat baby. You can get your fat baby T-shirts by going to MikeOMaraShow.com. And, I hope that all those people that liked my post about it are going to purchase the T-shirt.
I'm sure
That's
they
why we
will.
manufacture
Sort of
them.
an agreement you have with your listeners.
I think when you put on the fat baby T-shirt and you walk out into a public place, say a hockey game.
Yes.
For example.
Say somebody is rocking the red with a red T-shirt.
Exactly. You could do that.
It's no secret that this coincides with the playoffs and the Capitals, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, if you show that, to me, it shows the world that, yes, you care.
Right.
You're
You
aware.
love America.
And
You
that
love
you're not-
America. You're aware of world events.
And you're not afraid.
But yes.
Yeah.
You're
You're
proud.
brave, but you're also saying, hey, don't take it too
You're
seriously.
international.
Right.
Yeah, you
Who
got
doesn't want to be international?
Is
You're
that
plugged
so
in.
wrong?
You're plugged in.
No.
You wear it to a hockey game, to a restaurant, to your place of worship.
Right.
Everyone is going to know where you stand.
That's the way I look at
That's
it.
the
If you
way everyone should look at
If
it.
you buy a couple, you'll have one to wear while the other's at the laundry.
Where are the? that was horrible, by the way. Where are the Caps?
I thought it was
haven't
great.
been following them.
Any garment, 99 cents.
They're doing
Mike.
quite well.
I would imagine some of them are probably right around the Boston area, sleeping in their own condos. Right now. Are you talking about specifically?
Yes.
Statistics. The man loves statistics.
Statistically,
on sports games.
they are at the top of the Southeast Division in the
look at that.
NHL.
With a margin.
They have I believe, a 6-point bulge.
Nice bulge.
Over the Winnipeg Jets. And then when it gets into, if they're not leading the division where they are in the playoff hunt, it's confusing. Because when you lead your division, you get special credit. And if you don't lead your division, it immediately knocks you down to more of a playoff battle, which I think they're having with either the Rangers or the Islanders. It's very confusing.
And how much season is left?
7 games, I believe. 7 or 8 games now.
And a hell of
are
a
left
game
in the
last
season.
night, right?
Well, they thumped last night. Thank you for bringing up hockey. This is great. I'm very surprised.
we were rocking the red
I'm
anyway.
very- yeah, we were?
Yeah.
Really? Who scored the winning goal?
No, I mean by talking about the red T-shirt.
Yeah, it was
this
a
is
nice
rocking the
transition.
red.
Was it Gordie Howe?
But you
I'm
didn't
going to
look,
say Ovi.
you
but
didn't
I
look
don't
at the
know.
you didn't look at the hockey.
No, heavens no.
I didn't either.
Evans, no, you queen. God. On the program today, I want to talk about a nasty habit that Oscar Santana's special lady has developed,
Yeah.
or probably has had all her life. We don't know. We'll talk about that. My dog with the bad shoulder. We also want to cover various different things on the show today, if I can see them. Game of Thrones. I'm not loving it again.
Not feeling it.
Really?
No.
Now, did you love it in the past?
I did last year. I watched the box set and then dove into the season.
Not
was it
enough.
season 2.
This is season 3. Yeah.
This is season 3.
Not enough nudity? Or?
Well, they had a little last night, and I want more of that
Of
and
course.
more gratuitous violence.
Of course, yeah.
We'll talk about that. I have to be careful with pay-per-view movies as well, and here's a little warning.
Yeah.
I've got a movie. Do not get this movie on
Do
pay-per-view.
not go there.
I dreamt about something that I love.
Thank you, Mike.
Not you, Rob.
Really? You never dream of me?
Let's just start with Oscar.
He does.
Yeah.
Let's start with Shannon and what she's doing to you at home.
Yeah, well, I think that anybody that's,
Hold it. No.
that's in a relationship.
A habit?
Does this count as an episode of Oscar's World?
No, can
I
you
think it
effing
does.
burn that? I'm going
got
to get
to.
in there and erase it.
Oscar's World.
Boo! Boo, boo, boo!
You're talking about your special lady.
Oscar's World.
Yeah, I hate that.
You're talking about your special lady,
Element.
so I think that's
Not
your
many
world.
people have a theme song.
And Oscar, as you've told me many times before,
Yes.
she is your world.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
Is my world.
But I guess for about the year that we've been dating, I'd known that once in a while Shannon had this kind of quirk when she slept, where she would talk out in her
Hasn't
sleep.
it been longer than that?
No, we've dated for just about a year.
That's all.
Yeah.
God, you've
It's
been
been a
so
whirlwind of a year.
You've been so happy with her.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
no
seems like
big
it's-
fights.
And how usually when someone travels overseas and comes back from a long journey,
Yes.
there's an adjustment period.
Oh, absolutely.
You have the euphoria of being on the road
Right.
with your
Yes.
male pal, and then you come back and she's kind of been towing the line, right? She's been working while you've been gone.
Absolutely.
So
As
there's-
she should.
That's there's natural tension there. Everything going all right?
Yeah, everything's fine. I came
good.
home. There was no paper towels, but that's all right. No,
Damn it.
that's all right.
Dare she?
And
No
you came in
big
today
deal.
anyway.
No, it's not my job to buy the groceries. That's her job.
Give me a
She
lot of
owned
level
up
on
to
number
it.
5 here, you know. Well, I see there are no paper towels here, Shannon. Perhaps you could find them if you got down to the second level of the townhouse.
Oh, no.
Get me paper towels, Andre.
Now we know that I have a one-bedroom apartment with no floors or
Do
stairs.
you buy Viva paper towels, Oscar?
Oh, that's terrible.
Isn't it?
Let's let him tell. He's going to tell a story
You're right.
about what happened.
And it is Oscar's world.
in the middle of sleep.
So I'm sound asleep
the middle of sleep.
just yesterday, and my internal clock, my body clock, is all messed up.
Of course.
Because when I'm sleeping, I should be awake, and when I'm awake, I should be sleeping. And it really caught up to me yesterday, where I put my head down for about 10-minute nap, and I woke up 4 hours later. That's how weird.
yeah,
my
your inner
body
voice
feels.
right now is saying, Oscar, you should have eyes closed.
Yes.
And you know what? He's not one to take siesta.
No. I don't
anymore.
usually.
No.
That's not part of my my
So
makeup.
tell us what your lovely lady
So
did.
we're laying in bed at 5:45 in the morning. I'm sound asleep, and out of the blue. And usually, I think throughout the evening, either you have your back to your loved one or you're next to them. At this point, we're probably about 5 feet from each other's faces.
I always have my back to her, but but be careful, don't do that.
That's
So
right.
I hear out of the blue,
It's true.
"Hey!" And I'm like, this is a yelling, screaming "Hey!"
Has he ever yelled on the show before?
I don't think
It's a
so.
first.
I'm
I
very
like
upsetting.
Yeah. And
it's her voice?
It's her voice yelling 5 feet from my face, and it startles me awake. And your first reaction when you're startled like that, you feel like you need to punch somebody or something's going to happen.
Yeah, fight or flight.
Yeah. So I didn't punch her. I didn't go crazy. But
Thank
I
you,
was
Rob.
startled enough.
I sure would have.
Oh, self-control, gentlemen, self-control.
I still might.
I said, hello. I said, why are you yelling at me? And she says, no, not you, the other. And I said, hello. And I gently nudge her. I said, you're yelling at me in your sleep. This is not cool.
She said the other?
The other.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
That is. That would be a great name for a horror movie.
The horror.
But yelling at the
other.
top of her lungs. And I said, I finally shook her awake, and I said, you're yelling at me, please. It's 5:45 in the morning. I know you have to wake up soon, but I don't.
Right.
And she says, oh. She goes, I was dreaming of my little brother and some moving company, so I was yelling at the movers.
Oh.
She goes, did I just yell at you, hey? And I said, yes.
was it a night terror type of thing, or was it just a regular dream?
She was just having a regular dream.
So they weren't evil movers.
Has she
Mike.
done this type of thing before where she talks in her sleep?
She's yelled out in her sleep, but usually I go to bed around 1, 2 in the morning. But as of late, I've been going to bed around 10:30, 11 when she goes to bed, just because of my clock. And I said,
Carla is a notorious sleep talker.
yeah, but I've
Really?
never had a yelling in your face type of sleep talking.
Carla's is more mellow. It's kind of like, I want a younger man. No, I'm sorry. No,
I would take that 10 out of 10 times. But the reaction wasn't just, the hurtful part wasn't just the yelling.
Hurtful?
It was when I explained to her that she had just yelled at me, and much like a cat, you startle and you don't know what to do. And now I know why cats' fur they just explode into a big fur ball and go crazy.
Is that what happened to you?
That's how you feel. You feel like you don't know what to do. You're out of
What
sorts.
what fur stood up on you?
My hair probably stood up.
Okay.
The little hair I
all of
have.
Yeah, as it is now.
And my
still.
pubes. And I said,
What hasn't been
Straightened.
waxed?
I said-
his pubes straightened.
I said, did you, I was like,
Shannon.
can I get a sorry? And she goes, did I just really yell at you, hey, at the top of my lungs? I said, yeah. And she just started giggling.
Point of order.
Yes.
Something somebody does in their sleep, does that require an apology?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, Buzz, because
How?
you're interrupting my life with your problem.
Yeah,
They're-
personal
but
space.
The
Yeah.
person is unconscious. They don't know they're doing that.
I remember you trying to die for about 10 days, and you were unconscious, and you had to apologize to everybody for almost dying.
But I kept quiet
You
about it.
always go. Well, you had no choice.
And she just giggled for 10, 15 minutes, laughing,
Did
hysterical.
you get legitimately scared?
It freaked me out, man.
Wow.
Freaked me out.
Does she ever do the sleepwalking?
She does not do that. She does yell from occasion, but it's never been in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
And-
Don sleepwalk a lot? He talked about
Yes,
like jumping
yeah.
off a balcony or something.
Walking
Yeah,
off of-
yeah, but
Some
that was-
people really,
I think
really sleepwalk.
For some
terribly.
reason, I think that was when they were in Los Angeles.
Yes,
and
it
he hadn't
was.
done it recently. You know, Mark, when we shared a room in Iowa, yelled at me.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a sleep talker as well?
I've been told, yes. There was one time that I sat up in the middle of the night. I just, real quick, just sat up, shot up quick, and I just went, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, like that.
Oh, my God.
And then I went right back to
Did
sleep.
you apologize?
No.
That's got to be some sort of disorder.
I want
He
an honest
apologized to
answer.
Oscar.
I want an honest answer here because if I'm alone, I will stand up to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I seriously would like to know: has anyone ever, in the middle of the night, pretended, or at any other time, pretended to sleep talk?
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Why would you do that?
Why?
Fun.
Oh no!
What did you say?
I don't know. I've done it to Carla a few times.
Really?
Just for attention. I can't believe all you guys.
You are
you're-
so needy.
No, I'm not needy. I just did it once. I'm
You're
telling the
so
truth.
needy that when you're sleeping, you still need attention.
No, it's not that I was sleeping. I was not sleeping, and she came into the room,
Yeah.
and I pretended, and then I'll do things like, I know, no, keep it away, just for fun.
No.
I've never done that.
No, but I want to try it now that I've heard the idea.
You're a true entertainer, Art.
That's right. It never.
Yes.
No off
I think I'm
switch.
needy.
I do talk in my sleep, and sometimes Carrie says the funniest thing is that I will sound really, really intent on saying something, and I can't do it. Like if I'm talking, I'll be like,
Oscar, what do you think Rob would sound like in his sleep if he was, if he was, sleep talking?
Don't touch the jukebox. I just rearranged everything, Julia.
But
What are you doing?
trivia question for Mike: do you remember?
Costco sandwiches? Costco sandwiches.
Change back on $1.
Linus, sit. Linus, stay. Jessica, do me.
Oh yeah. See, these are all the things I say when I'm awake, not when I'm asleep. Trivia: do you remember what Mark yelled at me in Iowa when he was asleep?
No.
I want your...
No, he said, "Yeah." And what about those crazy brown S's?
And use the S word?
Yeah, and then went
Plural?
right back to sleep. Yeah.
Wow.
It was. I remember clear as a bell. That upset me.
Are you scatological even in your dreams?
Of course.
yeah.
It's funny at any time.
This is. I
It
guess
never stops
It
being
was a
funny.
big deal because it's the first time I've ever had to deal with anything like this. And to the point that if it happens on a regular basis, I'd rather sleep on the couch and deal with
Well,
it.
it manifests itself in different ways. People can actually, if they're doing that, if they're getting that violent, they could actually, some people have been known
Can
to
punch.
slap and
Yeah.
punch
I
and
got
stuff like
not
that.
the. She was yelling at movers.
Right.
That had nothing
it's
to
a
do
dream.
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
was
a
a
dream.
dream.
Right.
Well, I'm pretty good at dream analysis, and if she's got movers in her dream
With her little brother.
it doesn't matter.
I've seen videos about that.
Yeah, because movers. This
seen
is
that
just
movie.
and I'm good at this. I study this.
Those jumpsuits zip right open.
I study this.
This is what you majored in
In school.
at
At
American
Oxford.
University.
If there are
Rhodes Scholar.
So what specifically did she yell?
She yelled, "Hey!"
Hey, so she wants to get someone's attention.
Something
That
like the
is
other.
what she is really screaming for is your attention, which she's not getting enough of.
That's right, especially just back from China.
The movers,
clearly.
the movers would indicate that she, in her dream, wishes to be somewhere else.
She's leaving you. Yes.
So it was like, really, I think we can cut through the chase, and it's basically, hey, get me out of this horrible environment.
Wouldn't be the first time, gentlemen. Wouldn't be the first time.
Have you ever talked to anyone that's in like an ambient stupor?
No,
I have.
That's
like
funny.
Hilarious.
That's very funny.
and
Carrie,
they're sort of asleep, but
one of
they're
the
sort
first
not.
times Carrie ever took an Ambien, she started talking to me, and I said, "I thought you'd be asleep by now." She says, "Yeah, but the lights are coming."
Yeah, it's
And
like you're
and
drunk.
Her eyes were open. It was really creepy. I said, "What lights?" She says, "You have to see the lights."
I get that with Marcia sometimes. She'll fall asleep
Yeah.
watching TV, and I'll get up and I get ready for bed, and then I go, Marcia, it's time. Wake up! It's time to go to sleep. Yeah, which is an odd thing to say, but she wakes up and she'll say something completely nonsensical, and I'll read it back to her, and she'll say, "What?" It's like the dormouse.
Do you have like a
in
notepad
Alice in
next to the
Wonderland.
bed or something?
No, I should, but I do keep her. I forget to use it, and she does talk in her sleep occasionally, and I do keep a little tape recorder next to the bed, but I always forget to
It
turn
freaks
it on.
me out.
That's mostly just for sex.
It is unnerving.
I will tell you because it's a fragmented dream, and it's one of those dreams where you kind of thought you were just thinking of this, but I did have a legitimate dream last night, and it's just this is me plunging more into alcoholism.
Yes.
My dream last night was that I was the character in the movie Rounders.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
I've watched it a million times.
You love that movie.
and I popped it on a couple of nights ago, and the scene that I'm in is I go to meet the professor in his bar,
Right.
and he's got the bottle, and he says, "Gin, always gin."
Yes.
And it's me, and I actually, in my dream, I can actually see him pour the drink for me because I'm not a gin drinker.
Right.
But I was fascinated by the fact that all I thought about in this scene when I watched it the other night was the fact that, this mean I like booze too much.
Mike's now dreaming of booze.
Crazy Guggenheim.
All I know is that when I watched this scene, I said, All right, what bar they're in Boston, right? That's where
Right.
Rounders takes
Yeah.
place. Is it Boston where
Gotta
it takes
be.
place?
Oh, I don't know
I think
for
it's
sure.
Boston.
Yeah.
It's Teddy KGB. It's New York or Boston.
Right.
And he sits there and he goes into this bar. It's obviously a public bar
Right.
where the professor has a whole bottle of gin there.
Mhm, right.
And he said, "Get me another glass." And he just has the bottle and he pours it for him. And it's not like bottle service. You
Was
think
it like last
you think
night?
I'm thinking about this too seriously?
No, I love it. Was it last night you had this dream?
Yeah, last night.
Now, you recently saw Rounders. Do you think it has something to do with the fact of the bombing in Boston? Like a Boston turnaround?
No, I think it's because I watched Rounders.
that's
I
what
think it's because you love booze.
And because he's
I love booze.
you find yourself thinking about taking up gin. Now
Yeah.
at this
I
point.
watched
Oh,
this
gin makes you
scene.
mean.
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know if this is watching the movie or whether it was in my dream, where I looked at that and I said, "Man, he's drinking gin, and there's no ice." And I don't wonder. I'm looking at the bottle. I'm saying it must be really, really good gin, like better than Tanqueray or something like that.
Oh.
And he's pouring. What?
I hate gin.
I do too.
I do
And
too.
you know, as one,
But I'm fascinated because suddenly in my dream I know that I thought it has juniper berries.
right.
Wow.
It's made with juniper berries.
How do
quite
you know
detailed.
this?
Did you know that before you went to bed?
I knew probably.
Of course.
But he's pouring the gin in a glass, and he pours it for Matt Damon, and Matt Damon takes a sip out of it, and then there's no ice, and it's like gin. I mean, that's why the martini was invented, because it's super chill.
To make it more palatable.
To make it cool, like any booze.
One time at a...
And I don't mean cool, I mean ice cool.
The only time that I've ever seen both of us do this, we went to a WJFK Christmas party, and before it, we established that, you know what we're going to do tonight? What? We're going to have martinis. I said, okay.
Right.
So you and I go to the bar, we say 2 martinis.
Vodka, though. Vodka martini.
No, because we got
We had gin martinis?
And they poured us gin, and we both took a taste, and we
If
both
you don't-
threw them away.
Yeah,
If
okay.
you don't specify, some bars will serve you a gin martini.
That's the classic,
the
yeah.
old way, and
I've
those are awful.
I drank gin and tonics through college.
Really?
Yeah.
The only reason they paired up gin and tonic are they the only 2 liquids that are foul enough tasting to offset the taste of each other.
But this guy, and I'm trying to think who the professor was in Rounders. He's a famous actor, and he played Bela Lugosi.
It's Martin
in Ed
Landau.
Wood.
Martin Landau.
Martin Landau.
Landau, yeah.
And he's been on that Space 1999. Right?
Yeah, and he was also in North by Northwest. See, I got even older than you.
Martin Landau, and he's drinking gin, and his line is in the movie is, "What are you drinking?" "Gin, always gin, always gin."
And
it
then,
just looked good.
then Mike O'Mara pretended to talk in his sleep about gin.
Well, and I woke up and I was just completely wet with gin.
I've had
I'm
dreams
sorry.
like that.
Did you
Whatever.
Did you drink in the actual?
In my dreams and in
Yes.
reality, I always do.
Okay.
Always drink.
I always
And then he
partake.
fought.
Always. Well, tell Shannon, take some drugs or something.
No. I think, look, if this happens again, it's the couch for your boy, and then we'll live happily ever after.
How about a ball gag?
Oh, no.
Just a thought.
When we
Yeah.
come back on the Mike O'Mara Show, it's the elephant in the room. We got to talk about it a little bit. It's all the crap going on with Boston. I said yesterday I would boycott our friends at the Today Show.
Yeah.
I did that,
job.
and it was a very successful experiment. I'll tell you about that,
Yeah.
and we'll discuss the recent developments with all this crap that's going on in the world. We'll take a break. Come back. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
I don't know what you do, but you do it well. I'm under your spell.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. Healthy weight loss just got a little more affordable. Tell us what they're doing now, Rob Spiewak.
They are able to take the Weight Not program. The Weight Not program, when I first started, it was pretty rigid and pretty segmented, and it worked great, but it was one program. Now you can cater your weight loss to what you want to do. You can do it for a long time. You can do it for a brief time. You can decide how fast you want to lose the weight. You can decide how much weight you want to lose. And if I'm not mistaken, now it's about the same price as a gym membership.
No, prices start as low as $5 a day. That's exactly right. And you can accelerate your weight loss based on the pace you like and also your budget. This is really terrific. They've modified this a lot. This is going to allow a lot more people to come to the
Right.
party.
Exactly.
We're very excited about Weight Not. You'll eat the real natural foods you can find in any grocery store. No packaged meals, no meal replacements, no prescriptions, no stimulants, nothing artificial. The safe way to lose weight and keep it off. Weight Not has helped thousands. Read their success stories on the Weight Not Facebook page and send us a line. We'd like to read your Weight Not success
Please do.
stories.
Any amount of weight you want to lose, they can do it, and they can do it fast, and they can do it safe.
To find out more, visit weightnot.com. Weight Not, show us what you are made of. I talked yesterday, and I want to thank everybody for giving me the feedback about ranting. I will call it, much like conservative stations do, the mainstream media. But the show that Rob
That's
and I
right,
watch,
Gordon.
Rob and I watch the Today Show on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And I've been watching it a long time. Yesterday was the most angry I had ever been at their coverage because to me, there was very, very little journalism going on, and what there was constant, ceaseless repetition of the explosion and the aftermath of the explosion. I talked about how mad I got at it.
Right.
And so first thing this morning, I popped downstairs. About 7:15, I got my Today Show TiVo, and I went to it, and I remember what Rob said. You'll go back to watching it. And I said, oop, he's absolutely right. That's what I'm watching here. So I popped over to CNN.
Okay.
And you look, it might have been a good day for CNN, or it might have been reporting and coverage without all the graphics and the hype. They've got a graphic. Let me make no mistake about it. Like all the news stations, they've got a graphic. It says Boston bombings. That's what they've got. But within 10 minutes, they broke a story about the top of this pressure cooker that they discovered on a roof.
Saw it.
And that was brand new. And that was the Today Show was showing me pictures of what the fragments that were discovered yesterday.
Right.
The Today Show was showing clips of a news conference that happened in the middle of the day yesterday.
Right.
And suddenly I'm hearing what you never hear from any of at least the NBC reporters I listen to, which is, well, this would indicate they're interpreting what a lot of these press conferences are saying.
Okay.
These press conferences are saying. And what I liked was it was all the stuff I was interested in.
Yeah.
I'm really not interested in seeing 11 more interviews with the old man that got knocked over by the concussion because it was on the magic box, and that's what our idiot viewers can relate to. I want to hear experts on national security. I want to hear experts on the FBI. I want to hear where they are in the investigation or where they think they are, because we're really not going to know, even in the media.
Of course.
And it was really informative and enlightening.
Well, that's great.
And they peppered that coverage with some hero stories about people that responded positively.
Always good.
And I sat there and said, well, this is what I was looking for. No fuss, no muss. It was great. I thought, is it Chris Cuomo that does the...
I believe that's right.
Is that the, because I mean, I get them confused. One's the governor, and the other one's a reporter for CNN.
And then there's the singer, Perry Cuomo.
Perry Cuomo.
That's right.
Who's no longer with us.
No, God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
God, I miss him.
And yeah, go ahead, Oscar.
Well,
you watch it every day, right?
Yeah, well, because that is one of the channels I can get online.
Good for you.
As you know, I cut the cord, and I actually don't have cable.
Right. You're off the grid, kind of.
Yeah, I'm off the grid. So what I always realized about the Today Show, even when I was listening to the Don and Mike show, and you guys would talk about it, was not necessarily that it was out of my demo. It was just I'd watch it, and I always thought it was kind of like a magazine show.
Yeah,
and then
which it is.
As I grew into this show, and you guys started watching. I said, "Well, I want to see what this is all about." I couldn't watch the Duggars on that program one more time.
So agree.
When
So
I realized that
or the Scottos, Mike.
this isn't news.
Yeah,
it's somewhat your Us Weekly and somewhat your People magazine, and a little bit of news when they want to cover it.
Well, it was just critical mass for me yesterday.
Yeah, I understand.
And I know you didn't think I was going to leave, but then when I go over to a place where there's some real journalists, I wish I could give them. I'm great at ranting about people, but I'm not so great at giving credit when credit is deserved.
You'll start to cover it, and you'll start to get to know them, the Today Show folks.
They have. It seems to me they have more reporters that are a little less concerned about their hair and makeup,
right,
and a little more concerned about covering the story. There's one particular national security correspondent there, I will get her name, I'll bring it to you tomorrow, who was all over it, who was questioning the information that was being doled out, who was analyzing. It was really, really terrific.
And it looked like
that's all I care about
she
right
skipped
now.
makeup. She wasn't even worried about looking good on TV.
Didn't care about that.
Yes.
And they're what they're doing is what I need them for right now.
Right.
I want to know, where are they in getting these sons of bitches or this son of a bitch that did this? Well, that's what most people are
I'm proud of you for veering off the usual path that everybody takes, which is the easy thing to watch the Today Show. And as I indicated yesterday, I am equally fed up with the nightly news. Like you, Oscar, I'm a big fan of Brian Williams. I think he personally does a terrific job, except now that he works for Cabletown, he will do whatever silly thing they ask him to do. And the newscast on that network the last 2 nights have just totally sucked. I am as done with the NBC Nightly News as you are with their Today Show.
They have gone down a road, maybe it's one too many times, and maybe we're tougher as a society after going through 9/11, where we know the drill, okay? We have a pretty good idea that this is, and we'll have a discussion about that right here. I'd like to know whether you guys think this is a domestic lone wolf kind of situation or, in fact, Al-Qaeda international terrorism. We're very, very well versed in this. We know what's going on with these things. So I think Americans as a people have the intelligence where they want one particular bit of news. We don't want to watch the car wreck 50 times.
Right.
We want to know, what are you doing? How is the investigation going? And I don't mind that peppered with the story of the ER surgeons, the people that rushed to the aid of people that
We
needed
should
it.
know those.
What
Do you
I
think-
don't need is to hear victims.
Right.
Yeah.
What did it feel like when the bomb went off?
Duh.
F you. That doesn't do anybody any good. It's crazy. Go ahead.
So, speaking of the first responders, I got a chance to finally catch up with my brother yesterday.
Good.
And to keep the kind of the privacy between my brother and I and our family intact, there was a part of me that wanted to say, "Hey, you should come on the show." And
Yep.
then I spoke
Same
to
here.
and then I spoke to him, and as soon as we started talking, I realized that it's not something that he would even he's not that type of guy. He doesn't
Right,
he doesn't want
right.
that type of attention. Doesn't want to talk about. But in private, when we talked, without compromising, my relationship with my family and the conversations my brother and I had, I will say that one, he was on the front lines of this.
How many hours did he work?
He was just getting off work yesterday evening.
Okay. So full 24
yeah,
hours.
And he was truly saddened by what had happened. For the first 8 patients went to his ward or his hospital, where he was in charge of that evening shift in orthopedics. So you can imagine what he saw.
Oh my God! They
a
were
lot of
all
kids.
so many orthopedic injuries, lower
And,
body injuries.
But he said that as a doctor, you really don't put yourself in that position because you trained for so many years
To detach.
yourself. But when you're done and you're leaving the hospital and you're walking home and you live in that neighborhood or you're getting on the T or wherever you're going, the human side of you can't help but jump out and realize that this has actually happened, and the individuals that came through that hospital, their lives will be changed forever. The community in Boston has been bruised, but certainly not knocked down.
I was going to ask you about your brother because I saw several reports where they were talking about physicians that are not battle tested.
Yes.
While they are tested to handle any type of injury and the technical aspects of that, perhaps the emotional cost on a lot of these doctors was more significant because they're not used to seeing wounds of that nature caused by an IED, and that's what they were experiencing in large numbers.
And the amount of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether you're a doctor or a surgeon or a first responder and you're on the front lines and you see this type of carnage, this isn't something you prepare for. I mean, for example, a couple years ago, my brother was on the team where they did the face transplant, an entire face transplant at that hospital. And when you speak to him about that, it's dynamic, it's interesting. But there's no way. And when I spoke to my brother, this wasn't an interview. I just figured he actually called me because I had texted him, and I didn't think he was going to talk about it. And then he just starts talking.
He needed to.
And then I shut up and I just sat there and I just said my 2 words. And as he was talking, I realized that you're absolutely right, Mike. Whether they are trained for this or they are not, whether they're a paramedic or an ER doctor or anyone that had to deal with this, a bystander that helped tie up a tourniquet, their lives are going to forever be changed.
Sure.
And whether this was a lone wolf or a foreign entity or a group, what my brother also brought up was Patton's point, where he said that, while this may suck right now, and this is probably the worst thing that he's ever gone through in his life, he knows from the people that were injured and the spirit of the families that came across that ER that this will be it won't be forgotten, but we will
move past
it,
and we will be better because we are better.
And he said there was even some of the injured that really had amputations go down, and they don't know if they might lose another limb. He said the attitude of the people that were going through this, not just because they were in shock, but even after the fact, they were more concerned about the people around them than what happened to them.
Do you?
So the human spirit prevails.
We've got less than a minute left before we have to go to break. But do you get the sense, and we can continue this discussion, do you get the sense, like I do, that, we got another body blow, we took another shot, but this time, hey, been there, done that.
Yeah.
We know how to bounce back now.
And we will bounce back. We bounce back awfully quick.
I really get that sense. I mean, this is tough, and everybody wants to get the bad guys.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, bring it. Bring
Yeah,
it. We're
right.
not going to be terrorized.
You're absolutely right.
Unlike our friends at NBC
Yes.
that
Right.
seem to want us to be terrorized.
Terror in Boston.
You know, if you cherry pick your proper stuff, you'll help yourself in the news. We'll take a break. Come right back.
On the craze of my native street, when I start to dance, everything goes shake,
Cuban Pete.
Playing it for Oscar.
Nothing gets you off your
No.
course, does it?
It's off to his next element, Mike. That's all it is.
No offspring.
It makes me laugh too. It just
I like to think
it's
if
so
not the
completely unrelated to anything we're doing today. It makes me laugh, and that is the funny. That's in it.
if you are the steering wheel of the show, I like to think of me as at least part of the rudder.
the gear shift.
Yeah,
The seaweed-covered rudder.
that's it. The rusty old rudder.
This comes to us from Justin in Turlock, California. I just wanted to let you know about my first Score Big experience. My wife and I are huge San Francisco Giants fans, and after 2 World Series in 3 years, tickets are expensive, so I decided to see what would happen with Score Big. I was able to get 2 tickets valued at $57.50 for $42.50,
Wow.
saving $30 combined.
Okay.
But the true savings are even more when you add on the $14 convenience fee. That doesn't exist on Score Big.
Oh, wow.
The even greater thing is that when I went to the official ticket site to get a price comparison, tickets were sold out in the section where my Score Big tickets were located.
Told you.
So not only did I save $44, but I got tickets in a section that looked to be sold out. I will be going back to Score Big again. It was the best online ticket buying experience I've ever had, and it's the no extra fees. That's my favorite
Fantastic.
part. I talk about that. Use it for the first time. Get $30 off your first order. Enter our code TMOS at scorebig.com. And Justin from Turlock, that's the easiest kind of commercial to do for
Isn't
a client.
it? That's
so
great.
thank you very much for your testimonials.
Thank you.
Really, and I appeal that to everybody that's out in our listening audience. The best ones I can read are the ones that you send me. I love that. I love to hear the success stories. So when we last checked in with Oscar, he was talking about his brother, who I think will probably be experiencing a little PTS as far as
I can't see how you could.
going through this, and
Yeah.
especially not
And
seeing it,
and
not
he
being in
doesn't-
battle.
My brother, out of everybody in my family, doesn't show any emotion. Like at times, my sister and I teased him. We said, a Mack truck could run through this house right now and take out everybody except for us, and you would just be like, oh, no big deal.
Do you
Right.
think
Just
he
gotta
would
rebuild the house?
Do you think he would show emotion if Shannon yelled at him?
No, I'm
Would he demand an
I'm
apology?
a much weaker man. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, we're all just big balls of jelly in
That's
here.
all.
Oddly comforting is some of the surgeons who are working on the victims in Boston are veteran doctors from Iraq and Afghanistan.
So many people are
and were
nowadays.
absolutely their expertise in this area was invaluable in helping treat some of these people.
He also mentioned that there would be, in his professional opinion, he said that so many people could have died, and I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, they had basically a trauma station set up for all the marathon runners, like a triage, with just kind of they have the benches, and they had everything
For heat exhaustion for exposure or that kind of stuff.
Cots.
They had cots. They had all these doctors that were volunteering already set up
Thank
there,
goodness.
and then they were just hundreds of yards away. So when everything happened,
were there.
as quick as the doctors got there, they were able to save so many more lives. Because think about
maybe the bastards miscalculated that one.
well, think about this. If you lose a limb, the amount of blood that you lose within the minutes to the first half hour,
It'll kill you.
and you could die. You
Yeah.
could absolutely die. But the fact that there were so many doctors there to help right away changed the entire dynamic and the scope of the casualties within that
We
attack.
lost 3 people, and 17, as you remember, were in critical condition. That means, essentially, in hospital terms, they were clinging to life. We haven't lost any more people, which speaks so highly of the medical professionals
Wonderful.
who tended to these people.
Your brother and his wife and all the great medical people up in Boston. My ties to that city. I'm proud of the people up there. And now the thing that's occupying my mind, I don't know if you agree with me, is constantly, let's get the guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Let's get the people. Let's do it. And I must say that I'm a little concerned. I get concerned when I see the
think I know
FBI
why.
hotline again and again. It seems to
They
me
need help.
that always seems like they're grasping, and I think they'll move quickly. And I was saying to my wife last night, do you think these guys are over the Canadian border? Do you think that they're long gone? Do you think that who was this?
Even so, we'd find them. Don't be disheartened by that, because putting together an investigation like this, it's all done with pieces, and the FBI wants as many pieces as possible. They have some of the pieces. They need more pieces.
I know
and
that,
that's why
Buzz,
the
but I
public
think
appeal.
I would be much more comfortable if they had stopped some guy on
I
a
know.
truck
Well,
on
we
a
all
Mass
would.
Pike. That would make me feel, because I'll be there in a couple of days,
Right.
and I think about the fact that I'd love to have a celebration for the city, which would be bringing some people to justice. But I'm also a realist to know it's not going to happen right away.
I think you will get it sooner than you think, and I think the fact that they are putting this out there is not indicative of anything that goes on with the investigation. I think they'd be doing it no matter what.
To get the evidence to convict.
Yeah.
Could
they
be.
They talk about
be.
that.
Right.
Let me ask you. I mean, you're hearing speculation, constant speculation. I don't know what your latest news is on it. I've watched a lot of stories about this, and is this leaning more toward? I saw a report on CNN that said it's leaning towards a lone wolf now.
Yes.
That this is one person that may have done this.
Very
which,
likely.
Which moves it away from an Al Qaeda
not
type
necessarily.
thing.
Not
I don't
necessarily. It's tough, because this is clearly, and you were asking, is this foreign or domestic? Is this international?
I was wondering what
or
your thoughts
domestic?
are on that.
Here's what I think. It was clearly an international or foreign type bomb. That doesn't mean it wasn't made by an American, because how to make that bomb is available on an Al-Qaeda website that anyone can access.
All over the
and
internet,
so
yeah.
it could have been a malcontent American. It could have been a foreign national who lives in this country, who was hoping to attack and acting as a lone wolf. And all he or she had to do was go on the internet, go to this Al-Qaeda website, and get these sadly easy instructions to construct this bomb. So it's hard to say whether it's foreign or domestic, except that the bomb looks foreign. It's just the same bomb that had been blowing up our troops in Afghanistan and Iraq, and that's what makes me think it leans international.
Okay, what do you guys think?
My gut. I mean, what can you do but go with your gut? For some reason,
I think I always think terrorists when an Al Qaeda style terrorist.
Well, it's obviously terrorist, but I somehow think domestic, and I can't explain it. I
could
can't
be.
put my finger on
Some
it.
sick F.
It just seems like
It was Patriots Day and
Patriots
Tax
Day, and the fact is that I was unaware, even as someone who lives not very far away from Boston, a couple cities down the coast, what a big deal this marathon was.
Yeah.
I think it has to be. I don't think the people across the waters would know this. I think
You
it's
never
someone who knows the environment, knows the city, and to me, it leans domestic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
feel-
hope I'm wrong about everything.
Again, it's kind of we're not experts. This
We're
is just our
guessing,
own
yeah.
guess.
Gut, yeah.
I would say domestic. I feel like if it was a foreign entity, they would be screaming from the rooftops.
That's
and
a
showing whatever
great
they did.
point. I mean, usually they're very proud to admit
Claim
that
credit,
they've
yeah.
done something
It
like
could
that.
have been a domestic terrorist who wanted to make it look foreign.
Yes.
That's right. By
Right.
using this type of
Or
bomb.
it could be a foreign terrorist acting on his own and
that too.
cannot.
We just don't know.
Can't grab the credit because he's on the run. So
Exactly.
any number of things.
They're saying federal agents are quickly determining how the Boston Marathon bombing was carried out. They know they're getting a clearer picture of how that was done.
Much clearer.
What they don't know is,
Isn't it strange that
who
they don't
did
have the
this.
video of that area, like completely?
Yeah,
Because you look at New
and
York.
That's New York City.
New York has every effing street covered. And there are people that say you lose a lot of your civil liberties when you're walking around New York City. I thought for some reason, especially in that area of Boston, that there'd be at least like a closed caption camera.
There's got to be more
that
video
caught.
that we don't even know about because I mean, not only is it a
There
big
is.
city,
Yeah.
but also
It's a popular area.
a huge media event
Yeah.
that
Right.
day, and the finish line of a huge media event. There's got to be video we
There-
haven't seen.
Sadly, there's no official video that you can just start, playing backwards to find
Right.
the bomber itself. But there is a lot of video.
You would think that there would be a pool camera for the marathon itself
Right.
to record every
Down,
single person.
May
So
have
no
been.
one's cheating.
And they, here's the thing.
may have been.
We, the public, we know only so much.
Right.
And you would think that we don't necessarily know where the all the video footage is that they're reviewing. And
Right.
they might not be releasing
Right.
everything that they're saying. But the special agent in charge says someone, and this is a quote from, I think his name is Delorier. That's the correct pronunciation.
He's a good boy?
No, it's a French name. I
Okay,
think.
I'm
Settle
sorry.
down.
Special agent in charge, Richard Delorier. He said, "I'm so sad." No, it's not even Italian. God damn it.
Okay, then do French.
He says,
Someone.
Why are you doing this? It's just
He made you.
Someone knows who did this.
No, he said someone knows who did this. Cooperation from the community will play a crucial role in this investigation.
Yes.
I'm hoping, this is what I'm hoping against hope, that cooperation from the community will play a role in the prosecution of this.
Sure.
But not necessarily getting the guy. I hope that they're doing whatever they need to do because I just picture them sitting in some safe house somewhere, high-fiving each other, and it pisses me off when I think about that.
Do you think it's a group?
Do you remember? Do you remember?
I think
how
it still
quiet,
might be. We have
We
no
don't
idea.
know.
When they say the bomb is like the kind of bombs that the IEDs that kill people in the Middle East, that's what they look like. That scares me. That worries me. When I say scared, not that I'm scared that terrorists are winning. I'm scared that we're not going to get the guys.
Do you remember?
That's all.
I think
That's
we
what
will.
worries
Mike,
me.
do you recall? Go back 11 years, 2002. How quiet and unaware we were of the shootings around D.C., the sniper shootings.
And how long it took to get
It
Bin
took a
Laden.
long time for them to find.
But do you know how they got him? They got him on a lucky break.
Yeah.
They rely ultimately in many of these investigations on a lucky break.
But still,
the most
take that
recent
out of it.
example of the guy in Los Angeles, the rogue cop in Los Angeles, wasn't it kind of a lucky break? They
Almost always.
they
But
checked
take it out of
houses
it.
where the guys were.
If you take that out of it, it was still awfully quiet leading up to the fact when they announced they had him.
Right.
And I think if we're not hearing anything that says, progress, that is not a sign that things are going badly.
One of the things, as
Right.
far as there are a lot of people, a lot of stories that come out on the aforementioned terror network where they want to get you scared, where they're talking about, how can we know you are safe? I just came from one of the largest secured events that a person can attend, the United States presidential inauguration.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, it is extremely doable. It's like, I don't want to go where there are going to be a lot of people. Well, first of all, you go to a game, you go to anything like this,
Concert,
and
whatever.
if anybody hasn't been to a sporting event lately, your bags are checked.
Sure.
So there's really not a need to get scared
And you can't
all the time.
For
And
these
you can't
big
live
events,
your life
you can't
in
take
fear.
bags with you.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
You just don't take bags with you
Right,
because
be
that's
smart.
how, if anything, watching all the details about how this was accomplished and how this was done, I think it's going to prevent it from, happening on a wide scale in the future because you
Right.
can see what they need to look for and what can do the damage. And I hate to say this because it is a tragedy, and there were hundreds of people injured, and there were 3 people killed. But ultimately, if their goal was to kill as many people as they could, they didn't succeed.
They failed.
No, they failed.
And I think that's a good thing. And once again, the terror channels will plaster that picture of the 8-year-old boy, the 8-year-old
Sure.
boy, the 8-year-old boy. But the fact is, it's 3 people. It is a tragedy, and it's
Yes.
certainly a tragedy for that family. But you have to take the positives out of it as well.
And
So
there
if you
will
were
be-
a betting person, you were going to go around the room and say, what do you think? Ultimate, you think it's a wingnut? You think it's some sort of domestic lunatic
with
like
the-
Timothy McVeigh?
I'll go with domestic wingnut wink.
Okay, what do you think?
Domestic.
Really?
Foreign.
I think foreign too. I think foreign.
Okay,
Ultimately,
we'll see.
I don't know. We'll have to wait.
We're
and
all
see
just
what's gonna
guessing.
do.
We will have to wait.
I want to give people a couple of little warnings here, as far as be very careful when you order a pay-per-view.
You've been talking about this.
Worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh no!
What'd you get?
Well, you go. Listen, would you figure in your young movie viewing, Oscar Santana,
Yes.
that Ben Affleck is a go-to as far as films?
Depending on which film.
Well, that's not an answer.
He's been on a run, right?
Yes.
He's made
Hot
some.
Year, Argo was great.
And who's
pretty
the
safe
actress?
bet.
Is it Rachel McAdams or Rachel
Yeah,
McAdams?
There is
Yeah.
a Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams.
Very
Cutie
pretty.
pie.
And you'd think, hey, little romance, a little something. No, but I mean something that's not going to be that bad.
You think Ben Affleck's in the movie? It's going to be a good movie.
it's going to
Right.
be a
Yeah.
good movie?
That's a fair guess.
But
I
I'm
wrote it down.
I'm a maniac when I research these movies.
I should.
Because I don't want to spend if I waste $6.
You're
I'm gonna be
right.
So
That's right.
pissed.
That's why he only sees the good movies, like Transformers.
I am here to tell you are right beyond right on this one because
What is it?
I've done this recently. I've done this on pay-per-views where I get bored with the offerings that are available. So I said, well,
offerings.
through the magic button, I'm going to bring a movie right into my living room. It's
Order
going to
with
be
your
perfect.
remote.
Right? Exactly.
Yes.
And I screw up all the time. I'm like on a run. I'm 0 for like 8.
And now, is this
no.
some sort of
Horrible
story?
because
that,
I don't care. There's a reason these movies aren't in the theaters anymore.
is this some sort of backstory to explain why porn keeps getting ordered?
You know,
Do you still watch
I've messed
it?
up again, and I've got a 4-hour blog.
Do you
Porn
still
is
watch it on
A-okay.
DirecTV?
porn?
Yeah.
Not as much as I used to, but it's still the convenience of pressing a button and having an 55-degree wonder.
Your money would be better spent on porn than it would be these bad movies.
So this is, I think, I'm going to say $5.99 to $7.99.
And you didn't order the Ben Affleck movie for the purpose that you do for when you order porn.
I ordered
$64.
I was so saturated with the news coverage. There were no live sports on.
Right.
And because right now there is just a smorgasbord of delightful sports that I can watch.
Right.
You know, I'm going between my beloved winning Red Sox and my beloved winning Capitals. Last night, back and forth. No problem at all.
La.
But la 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 me.
Yeah, it was la la la
Yeah,
you
so
last
there,
night.
put that in your pipe and smoke.
I like it.
Yeah.
You should be proud.
Red Sox thumped them. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So I put this movie on. I said, all this coverage of the bombings, this is horrible.
Yes.
And I said this to my wife, I want a romantic comedy escape. And I put on a
then
movie.
she threw up. And
No,
then what happened?
She hates movies. And this
That's
like
right.
completely backs up her theory. And I put on a movie called To the Wonder.
T.O.?
To the Wonder.
Had you ever heard this title prior to finding it there?
It's Ben Affleck marries a French girl, brings her back to the States,
All right.
and it goes wrong.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
And it begins.
It goes wrong?
Okay, this is the best way. This is the best way I can describe this movie.
Right?
I have the description.
Okay, let me see how accurate.
It's really sad, actually.
Yeah, I know it's sad that I ordered this.
Neil is an
that I
American.
pressed order.
Neil is an American. Neil's played by Ben Affleck.
And it costs you €42.
Neil is an American traveling in Europe who meets and falls in love with Marina.
Hot.
Olga.
She was hot.
Olga Kolyal, something like that.
She's hot in that kind of the armpit smell way.
Yes.
Yeah. I like
Earthy.
this.
But she's hot.
She's earthy.
She's really earthy. Like she the garden would grow. Let me put it that
with
way.
it.
Not like Hoda.
A Ukrainian divorcee who is raising her 10-year-old daughter Tatiana in Paris.
Ukrainian.
Dun dun dun.
Maybe I should have read more detail into this.
The lovers travel to Mont Saint Michael, the island abbey off the coast of Normandy.
Mont Saint Michel.
Beautiful. Incidentally, first 2 minutes of the movie, they're showing that.
Yeah.
Beautiful scenery, great cinematography. I'm kind of going, hey, this is nice.
pretty.
But it really, at this stage, like right out of the chute, it's resembling a perfume commercial.
Okay.
And it never stopped being a perfume commercial.
Yeah.
And it seems like a sad movie because throughout the movie they actually talk about her old sorrows eventually return throughout.
Well, sure.
And you know why you don't know what they are?
Why?
Because it's her going,
Oh, no.
and then you have subtitles, and the subtitles are like, "It is good to be loved, but I cannot feel that I can love."
Typical for him.
Too serious.
Love will move away from me like that. And then you see him, and she spins. And then she's
Like a
out in the
perfume
backyard.
commercial.
No, they're running around France and Paris, and she spins. Then they go to this little church overlooking the sea, and she spins
Sure,
again, and she
perfume.
dances. Then they bring her daughter into the equation, and her daughter does some dancing.
course.
Then he hauls them over to, where's he go, Oklahoma or something like that? He brings them back to
Naturally.
Oklahoma, where they spin.
So you stayed
and
with it a
dance.
while.
I probably 11 minutes.
Well, the cast has Javier Bardem, so you think Javier Bardem's in it. So
but once again, this is where my deafness comes into play, where Javier Bardem plays a priest, and he's giving a sermon,
He mumbles.
and I have beautiful new stereophonic, quadraphonic, surround sound,
Crisp.
Dolby,
Stereophonic hi-fi.
Dolby penile sound
Right.
in my TV, and Javier Bardem still says,
I'm so happy to be a priest.
Oh, God.
because his mouth and his head is like malformed, so it's like, it sounds like the Metro guy.
Yeah.
So so I can't hear what he's saying. So when I do get dialogue, it was just maybe I'm wound up with this whole thing.
Before you buy.
I think you expect the town or something along those lines.
Oh, sure.
Something better.
I get that.
But what would be Javier
Bardem.
Javier Bardem if he was the Metro conductor?
This is the orange line. Next stop, Boston. West, hit the sound. This is the green line. West Falls Church. Next step, Chinatown. Orange line to Vienna. Next stop is Farragut West.
That's for all our friends in D.C. Thank you.
I didn't get that. Sure.
But anyway,
So you
it's
didn't
just
stay with it very
you gotta,
long.
You got to watch the reviews.
I think Carla has mentioned to me that perhaps my blood pressure is a little elevated lately
Sure.
because of all the circumstances.
But the perfume commercial should have brought it down.
I did not turn the movie on to be to have absolutely no amusement whatsoever.
Okay.
And so I looked at Carla. I swear to God, this is a quote. I said, if she spins again, if she spins one more effing time, the Ukrainian French lady, I'm out of there. And she spun.
You're a man of your word. You didn't watch the Today Show and you stopped the paper.
Put on your Red Sox cap.
And note to Ben Affleck, Academy Award winner Ben Affleck. Ben, congratulations on the Oscar. You still make those dumb choices once in a while.
Two-time Academy Award.
Two-time Academy Award winner, but really,
Gotta pay the bills.
Some real turkeys. This wasn't big budget though.
No, I'm sure.
This was independent thing, and he was making a smart movie.
Yeah, because
Land of Suck.
Spinning is free, Mike.
Yeah, we'll take a break. Come back with Rob and the Magic Audio Vault right after this.
'Cause I made my mind up, you're going to be mine.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, Rob Spiewak.
Mike O'Mara.
Did you have a conversation with Rory Callahan yesterday?
I friended him on Facebook. I did.
He's
yeah.
a good guy. And,
Very good guy.
He's got a little company called RC Kitchens, and they are terrific. You've heard us say it. If you're outside the D.C. area, RC Kitchens might still be able to help you. It's true. Just provide your measurements. We're not talking about those kind of measurements.
Your kitchen measurements.
Your kitchen measurements.
Silly.
RC Kitchens will design and specify plans you can use anywhere in the world. This saves you thousands over designer showrooms and relieves you of the horrible home center experience. You get a precise plan and a detailed items list, your passport to a spectacular kitchen no matter where you live. Need it planned and specified in centimeters? No problem. They can do that as well. You can have hand-built, all-wood, top-quality cabinets for about the same price as the mass-produced brands.
Perfect.
You can get Bentley quality at Malibu prices.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Solid.
I'm there.
Contact Rory Callahan and his crew today at 301-537-3515 or at rckitchens.com. Let's start the audio vault without further ado. Here he is. Take it away, Rob Spiewak.
Our Jack Cassidy contest continues.
It'll be going through Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Yes.
Right.
We have not yet specified the year, but it does end on a Labor Day.
When you say our Jack Cassidy contest continues.
Yes.
And I know it's a contest payoff that you're not exactly doing
We should
cartwheels
reset.
No, I
on
think
that,
it'll be
yeah.
fine.
I
think
really sold it.
You need to sell it when you do this.
Do you know that if you buy a Jack Cassidy t-shirt, which is still available at our website, MikeO'MaraShow.com,
Step one.
you will get it. You will go to some impressive place,
Right.
say, I'm Jack Cassidy.
Right.
Step two.
Send us the video. Do you know what you can win?
What?
Do you?
What?
Ooh,
What?
you can be my apprentice.
Okay.
For a day.
That's right. And
Step
there's
3.
prizes, too.
right.
There's 5 jukebox used 45s.
You popping for lunch?
Yes.
Okay.
At Costco.
And they got a helmet, right?
And
That's right.
dinner and a Nazi helmet.
You're taking them to Costco for lunch. I
Well, we
forgot
have to
about
be
that.
quick because, we have to get to do the radio show that
right.
afternoon.
Big
And
day.
then it's a big day.
Okay.
And maybe
Big
a
day.
trip
Maybe
to
you'll
Home Depot.
get to see Sonny. Hello.
So get your Jack Cassidy T-shirt and say I'm Jack Cassidy in a unique and unusual place.
Impress us.
And we might play yours on the show as well.
might.
Today we go to the historic Landmark Theater in Richmond, and Laura Reuter, good old Laura Reuter, does a lovely little theatrical presentation that goes into the history of
Let me
Jack.
ask you:
I
are these coming in hand over fist?
Can't even keep them straight, Mike.
Really?
He has
Okay.
piles of them.
All right, Laura Reuter, because we know her.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, okay.
But everyone gets their tape played.
Okay,
She's just
and
up today.
She's
Yeah,
a
next.
terrific person and a wonderful
Yes.
fan of the show, and married to our good friend Hank.
That's right.
Yes.
Hello there. I'm Shirley Jones at the historic Landmark Theatre in downtown Richmond, the capital of the Commonwealth. And while I should be here for something like The Music Man, I'm here for something else. But I wanted to reach out to you to say, well, I'm the stepmother of David and mother of Patrick and Sean, and I've been married to Marty Ingalls for...
Okay, I'll be real honest with you, Rob.
Yes.
Rob, you're having a tough time getting these, aren't you? Because
Like to have a few
this
more?
This is just a bowl of crap.
Like to have a
this
few
is
more?
really a bowl of.
Sadly.
No offense to Laura Reuter, but really, the fact is that when I'm listening to
It's the audio.
She's too far
hear
off
anything.
Well, the thing is,
I
Mike,
can't hear any of them. They're consistently horrible.
There have been 2 that have been bad.
There
Have been 2 that
20
have been,
bad.
No. You see,
There
you're
have
not
been
seeing
20
the big picture.
And I love Laura Reuter, but
I
I
do
can't.
too.
I
Yes,
we all
can't
do.
hear. I'm deaf.
Those are the historic. Those are the historic.
Does she say
acoustics.
I'm Jack Cassidy?
She does, but she was doing it as Shirley Jones. That
Can
was
you,
her presentation.
I know you try to enhance the
I
audio.
always do.
and you couldn't enhance that.
I did the best I could.
Is this like the technology of the smartphone that gives us wonderful pictures but not necessarily great sound?
I think maybe a lavalier mic would have helped.
Our sound on ours that we're doing for the home movies is terrific.
We're broadcasters.
Professionals.
I think the room noise really hurt that
Exactly.
performance.
If you do one of these, and we know you're going to,
got to be close.
Be close to the microphone on the phone.
Right.
All right. Well, just like the audio vault is dying, so did Pat Summerall. And we're sorry to say that. Pat Summerall,
both, really.
Part of my childhood, I grew up watching Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire, and really was really started the trend of sports broadcasters. And this was Pat Summerall, a guy that was a field goal kicker, I think, for the New York Giants.
and the Cardinals, I think.
And he was not the color guy that talks with his hands.
We don't
that you
use
have
that.
now.
We don't use that word anymore.
You know how you've got every football player now? It's kind of the standard practice that you go into the broadcast booth and you do color commentary for the games themselves, or you do analysis on one of the pregame shows. Right. Pat Summerall was a guy that was a player, and he made the transition to a legendary play-by-play guy.
Loved
and
his
he did
voice.
golf,
He
and
was
he
good.
did everything. It was terrific.
Loved his voice.
Nice
and
to listen to.
I remember one time we had him on the old show, and he said one thing without us even asking him to say it, and I will always hold it. He
Beg your
said-
pardon?
No, he did say that. And remember, he was a wonderfully recovered alcoholic who, at the time of his death, was no longer throwing up pieces of his stomach.
Yeah, he told
Which at
that
one
story.
point he did.
Yeah,
right.
But when he said on the old show, he
Not
said,
like when I vomit.
No.
Which is much like William H. Macy in Shameless
foam,
vomiting.
lots of foam and
You
blood.
seen that one yet?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
What a
Where he
season.
vomits on the ice and all the blood comes out?
Yeah, nice.
That's a pretty nasty.
That's
little
bad for the
scene.
Zamboni.
Yeah, that was me after Mark left last Thursday night.
He said, coming up, 60 minutes and then murder, she wrote.
Murder,
And how many
she
times
wrote.
have we heard him say that?
Really a great one.
But anyway, here he is. This is when he called, I think, 18 Super Bowls. And here he is calling the Open for 31. Mike, we were actually at the city for this. This is New Orleans and the Packers and the Patriots.
We're in the magic city of New Orleans. The build-up has been incredible for Super Bowl 31. You had a look at the Superdome itself and then inside as the Patriots and the Packers face off for the championship of the NFL. Pat Summerall here with John Madden and all that build-up and all of this hoopla. John, is it as big as it seems?
I think it's bigger than it seems.
And that is, of course, John Madden, who was his
so-
partner after Brookshire.
You know,
They were perfect together.
he wasn't a classic tough guy, but that is such a testosterone
Yeah.
laden kind
Man's
of
awesome.
football guy. And you know what? No disrespect to any of the other guys doing it now, but none of them have that.
He was, he was a rare
Joe
case
Buck don't have that.
of a player who actually turned out to be a great broadcaster.
Right.
That's rare.
An amazing voice.
Here is Pat Summerall talking about how he got into broadcasting. Pretty good story.
I'd gone down to CBS to audition for a 5-minute radio program. CBS auditions 4 more players, including me. And I'd won the audition. This was something that I enjoyed, and I didn't know what I was going to do when I got through playing, so it was something that I thought I'd like to pursue if I had a chance.
Very cool. This is John Madden commenting on his passing.
Some people in life that are treasures, and Pat Summerall is a treasure, and a treasure to the National Football League. And they shouldn't forget it.
I don't think anyone will.
Wow.
You know, Jim Nantz is a friend of the show, and he's a friend of ours, and does an amazing job. He really does. One of the best in the business. The Masters telecast, with Pat
Funny
Summerall.
you should bring it up. I actually have tape from the Masters.
Please play some of that. I loved him when he did the
2009.
Masters.
This is not only great. I think this might have been the last year that they actually brought him in to do it. But what's great is after it, we get Nance doing Mike O'Mara's Nance.
Okay.
So this is Pat Summerall and Jim Nance.
Excellent.
At the 2009 Masters.
From the Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia, CBS Sports proudly presents the Masters.
And he was old when he was doing
Thank you, Pat Summerall. So good to hear your voice at Augusta, as always. It's springtime, the season of renewal. Mother Nature's annual gift of life.
Now remember what you're talking about?
Mother Nature is. Did he say Mother Nature's annual gift of life?
Yes.
Gorgeous day here. Sunny skies, faint whisper in the wind. That's all.
Oh, incidentally, I read my clippings, and when I don't get clippings, that's when I pay attention.
Right.
And that's why next year on the Masters, I am going sex all the way.
Really?
Because the exclusionary practices
Didn't like
of
that
the
as
Augusta
much, yeah.
National Golf Club did not go over comedically this
I
year.
like them.
I did not get the feedback that I wanted, and I'm going back to pure homoerotic love
That's
next
fine.
time.
Do you remember when
It's going to be homoerotic love like you would never hear.
Yes, please.
Do you remember when you said that when Pat Summerall talked, it was full of testosterone?
Yes.
Let's listen to this tape once again. See if you can tell me where the testosterone stops.
From the Augusta National Golf Club.
Got it here.
Augusta, Georgia. CBS Sports proudly presents the Masters.
Thank you, Pat Summerall.
Mike, you got the answer right.
There we go.
Blue to pink.
I showed you this before the show. The mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford.
Rob and I were laughing like children before the show when he shows me the video of this big, fat mayor.
Like an older Chris Farley.
Walking into a camera and makes a fat guy sound that is so perfect. I love
let's
this.
go
Mike.
to the tape.
This will be better audio than video.
Holy Christ!
Was there an expletive?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear
that
that
It was bleeped
part.
when we do it. I believe it.
I just heard him go.
I think what he screamed was "Holy F!" Oh, and also, Mike, speaking of fat guys, guess who was back on Splash last night?
Somebody Facebooked me and said Louis was back on Splash.
And what happened is because someone was unable to perform because of, I think, a ruptured something in the back.
Right.
They bring back the person from the previous week who was eliminated. So Louis Anderson came in and his dive was off the 33-foot platform, but just
His
jumping
fall.
into the water.
His controlled fall.
All he did was jump and he went in feet first.
Semi-controlled fall.
But at the end of the night, Mike, he quit.
Okay, you two, there it is.
Oh, he did.
Louis, Brandy, you are in the dive off.
Louis and Brandy Chastain were going to be in the dive off.
So
I can't do it again.
Well, here we go.
I can't do it because I'm a pussy.
Hold on a second, Joey.
Yes, sir.
You know, I really went further than I ever thought I could.
seriously, when you hear just the audio,
I know.
doesn't it sound like his penis is an innie,
Yeah.
not an outie?
What it is I could say, guess who was on Splash last night? Roseanne Barr.
I know I have very little chance of winning this competition.
Oh God! It's like
And I am going home, and I am going to defer to Brandy because she has a chance to win this competition.
All right. As a team sports guy,
Yes.
unacceptable, Anderson.
Yeah, but they got him to jump in the water one more time.
So there's that.
And all they had to do was fill the pool.
That's the anthem
Again.
That's the anthem of the wimp.
It is.
I'm showing my bravery by quitting.
Yeah, and
No,
what-
you're not.
what
No, you're
he-
just quitting.
And really, again, like a body being disposed of by the mob,
I gotta
he
see
just
it.
fell into the water.
Now I can go back after the show and watch
And
it
also,
again.
I'm sorry I'm running a bit late. This is short. I got to close with this. Congratulations to our brothers over in Israel. Yesterday was Israel Day. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
That's why I wasn't
Happy
here.
birthday to Israel. Did you know it's Israel's birthday today? Let's do it. True story. Today, the country of Israel turned 65. Yeah. Yeah, now that it's 65, Israel plans to retire and move to Florida. That's the plan.
That is your
He's going
magic
there.
audio ball.
I like that a lot. All right, we'll take a break, come back with Buzz and News. We're running super late, and we'll be back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Let's get right to it without further ado. Here he is, the man, Mr. Buzz Burbank. Take it away, Buzz.
Thank you, Mike. We're brought to you today by Smart Smoke, the premium e-cigarette. Smart Smoke has the nicotine you crave, but without the tar, odor, secondhand smoke, or carcinogens. With same-day shipping and a money-back guarantee, Smart Smoke is the smarter alternative to tobacco, and it costs 80% less than traditional tobacco products.
I was hooving on my Smart Smoke cigar during the game last night.
Every time you do it, it's like saving money.
It's like printing money.
It is like printing money, Mike.
And Mark is hopelessly addicted to Smart Smoke.
Yes.
And printing money.
And
Yes,
and
that's
Mark's
true.
also the controller of the Smart Smoke. Like
Yes.
it's his personal
stash.
fortune. You know?
He's the druggist.
The keeper of it.
Exactly.
Not
I mean,
at all.
Like if we want any of our Smart Smoke stuff, we have to go through Mark, which is very uncomfortable for me.
Well, if you're tired of wasting your money and your health on cigarettes, try the new Omega 2 with a heavy-duty design and up to 14 hours of battery life. To see all the styles, flavors, and strengths, and to order your refills, just click the Smart Smoke ad on our website. Someone does know who did this. The FBI and Boston police are asking for help in finding the person who planted those bombs at the marathon finish line. They've already gotten over 2,000 tips from citizens, but they're asking for more. Someone saw something. Someone heard something. Investigators are asking for pictures from cell phones and cameras of all kinds, including security videos from nearby business. They're asking if anyone heard a loud noise in the days before the blast, maybe a test of the kind of bomb that would be used. And they want to know if anyone saw someone carrying the heavy black nylon bags that brought the bombs to the race.
Am I too jaded to see that one photo they've shown with the paper bag sitting on the curb?
Yeah, right by the
and
trash
then they say,
receptacle.
okay, here it is before the blast. And then after the blast, it's gone. Well, a bomb went off.
I know. I
People
know.
were gone. So I think a paper bag would be gone, too.
I think that might be left over from your days of watching NBC. That coverage.
Absolutely.
It's going to be with you
With
for
a big
a while.
circle around it. Look, a paper bag.
Yeah.
Duh.
Lester Holt, former disc jockey. What do you say?
I say I wake up this morning, we're more vulnerable. Thank you, Lester.
He's just doing what Cabletown tells him.
Reader.
The bomb itself, as we mentioned earlier, is a kind of IED that amputated the legs of 13 people at the marathon, just as it amputated the legs of so many of our soldiers in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's a bomb that's easily made following the instructions on an al-Qaeda website. The shrapnel removed from the victims has been saved as evidence, along with the pieces found in the blast area. CSIs have locked down a 15-block area around the blast to look at literally everything.
How about, and the word amputated is overused also. I think let's call it like you see it. They blew the legs off these people.
Well, it did,
and,
but
and
you
they
still
say
have to-
Yeah, but when I hear amputation, I think of a medical procedure, and it just makes it almost sound it
Clinical?
legitimizes.
Yeah, you're
too
right.
clinical, but that's my thing.
The doctors had to amputate after the injuries.
I
They
know.
still had to make
I
a
know.
cut,
I
yeah.
just don't like the way they're saying it.
All right.
I hate it.
3 dead. The injured count has topped 176. President Obama spoke about the bombing again yesterday, saying, "The American people refuse to be terrorized," and he acknowledged the people who rushed to the aid of the injured by saying, "If you want to know who we are, how we respond to evil, that's it. Selflessly, compassionately, and unafraid."
Can I say that going up to Boston this coming weekend, I'm not afraid of being in large crowds. In fact, I'm looking forward to going to the Red Sox game. What I am afraid of is high winds, rain, and 53 degrees. So if I wimp out on the game, it's going to be because that weather forecast sucks.
I think you'll be just fine.
Thank you.
It was a tough day yesterday for many who have a connection to Boston, but it was even tougher if they also had a connection to Virginia Tech, where a mad gunman killed 32 people 6 years ago yesterday. Several mass shootings later. That new bill to improve background checks on gun buyers is in trouble.
Sure.
Despite all the compromises made for the sake of pro-gun lawmakers.
And all the work you've done, Buzz.
There may be a vote today, but there are 6 undecided senators. All 6 are needed to get the 60-vote supermajority necessary to pass the bill. 5 of those 6 undecided are Democrats. Lawmakers from both parties wrote the proposal. Now, lawmakers from both parties also hammered out an agreement on immigration reform, but some conservative senators are out to sabotage that by adding poison pill amendments that will drive the two sides apart. 8 Democrats and Republicans spent months honing and refining this bill, and now conservatives are using a tactic they've used before that could very well kill immigration reform altogether.
Yeah, maybe they spent a month on it. Who cares?
But-
I'm sorry. I'm very defeated. I'm very pissed off.
I
about
understand. I feel the same way.
Right.
You sound like you've taken a poison pill.
that. I know, poison pill.
Bad people are trying to steal your income tax refund, and they're succeeding, robbing many Americans of their refunds to the tune of $5 billion.
Hey, this is Eric Ronick from Black Gold.
He does need the money.
That's why he came down.
My brother-in-law was a victim. The identity theft that leads to these ripoffs has increased 650% in the last 4 years. Congress scolded the IRS about this yesterday. The IRS reminded Congress that it's just endured $600 million in budget cuts. American Airlines was not something special in the air yesterday, since for a while it wasn't in the air at all. American grounded all its flights for several hours yesterday because of a computer glitch.
Great timing, American.
The cancellations and delays continued
Idiots.
through the day. It created a domino effect that affected 2,000 flights. 125,000 passengers were affected. Bad news about China's bird flu outbreak. It isn't just for birds anymore. Health officials say some of the people who've just tested positive for this new strain had no contact with poultry. How you feeling, Oscar?
I feel a little sick. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, all right, everybody,
Nice to
just
hear.
wear the mask tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Finally, even people confined to a wheelchair can be bad or strange or both. This appears to be true of a man arrested again for shoplifting.
I like it already.
This time, the Seattle man rolled into a grocery store stark naked. The manager called the cops.
This is Potter.
Police found the man on the produce aisle munching on cherry tomatoes he had piled into his naked lap.
Oh,
Cherry tomatoes.
When they took him in for booking, they found him also in possession of a frozen Jimmy Dean sausage sandwich. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Just having my lunch. Leave me alone. Thank you, Buzz. Got to get out of here. We're running short on time.
Yes.
Today's show brought to you by Vistaprint. Tomorrow, more fun and more thrills. Vistaprint. Go get your iPhone case. They're personalized, and they start at just $9.99.
how much?
$9.99.
I like that.
Thank you very much. We'll be back with another show tomorrow. We'll finally try to get to this show about men without children. I just thought I'd have that.
I like that. And also, I
Very good.
want to hear about your dog.
My dog, yeah, he's in pain.
Oh, I know.
He's in a great deal of pain, and it's not funny.
It's
No,
not
at all.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.